Hello students. So in this lecture we are going to discuss a topic feature selection in machine learning. Here feature means the given data set we have a set of variables or set of you may say set of dimensions or attributes, or in a data set you may consider each column is a feature or dimension. So it is very important to select a set of important features, because in machine learning you may say that if you put garbage in, you may get the garbage come out. Here garbage means the noise in the data. So in general, data set may have a lot of noisy data, and also many of the attributes may be collinear and sharing the redundant features. So it is very important to remove the redundant features from the dataset, especially if the number of features are very large. So you need not to use every features at your proposal for creating the algorithm. You can assist your algorithm by feeding only those features which are really important. So there are many selection methods, feature selection methods. The most common are the filter method, wrapper method, and embedded method. The wrapper method we are going to discuss in detail in the subsequent slide. The filter methods are those methods where we use some statistical approach to select a set of important features like information gain, chi-square test, correlation coefficient, variance threshold, and etc. Information gain we shall discuss in some of the next topic. You are familiar with correlation, how to find correlation between two attributes. If you have a set of given attributes x1, x2 to xk, and this is your target level or output value y. So what we do in correlation coefficient is that find the correlation between xi and y. If the correlation is high or considerable enough, you keep this feature as it is, keep this feature in for further analysis. If the correlation is very insignificant, you can discard this particular feature. Moreover, you may compute the pairwise correlation. If a pair of features having very high correlation means they are collinear, they share much of the redundant data. In that case, one of that particular feature may be discarded, whichever having smaller correlation with y. So this way you can reduce a number of features from the analysis. In wrapper method, we are going to discuss the sequential selection of features or sequential elimination of features. Genetic algorithm is also an example of wrapper method. Next one is embedded method. It is implemented by algorithms like lasso and ridge regression, which have inbuilt penalization function to reduce overfitting of the model. For example, recall this regularization and decision tree. You can recall that in regression topic, one of the small subtopic we discussed regarding regularization. So what we had done in the optimization method, optimization function, that is minimization of the total error. Yi minus xi b or beta whole square sum. So in this minimization function we had added one more term called penalty term, that is some constant alpha times beta I mod. So this is called L1 regularization, and if you make a square beta I square here, that is called L2 regularization. So this additional term added in the optimization function, okay, which acts like inbuilt penalization function, and this is used to reduce the overfitting of the model. So that is example of embedded method. Coming to the example of wrapper method, that is subset selection, sequential feature selection. So the two common examples are forward feature selection and backward features elimination. Let us see what are those. In forward feature selection, what we do first, we approximate the response variable y with constant only. First time we consider that our model y estimated is equal to b naught only. There is no x term, only intercept model. Then gradually or sequentially we add one by one variable at a time. So okay, or iteratively we choose from the remaining variable, okay, choose a variable from the rest of the variables, that one yield the best accuracy in the prediction when added to the pool of selected variables. So iteratively what we shall do, we shall add one variable, let us say we added b1 x1, and we shall find out the total residual error. Okay. Like either SSE or SSR, SSR you can compute. Again you add y cap b naught plus b2 x2, and this way b naught b and xn. So at the first iteration step we have added one variable separately, and we constructed n number of models. From each model we shall find out the residual error, whichever will give the least amount of error, that particular xi we shall keep. So xi we shall keep in our selected variable, remaining we shall discard. Now our model is, let us say in the first iteration we selected xi. Now your model is B naught Bixi or B1. Sorry, here you consider B1 only because this is the first coefficients. So based upon xi, the value of B1 will be different. Now in next iteration, you add one more term, B naught x2, B2, x2, B2, x3 and B2, xn. And again you find SSR from each model, compare it, whichever gives the least amount of residual error, so that particular x variable will be added in the model. So next time your model will become B naught plus B1 xi plus B2 xj. So every time the already selected feature we shall not keep for further selection. So this is removed. Okay. So in every iteration we shall construct the model considering one feature for all the remaining features, and we shall construct the model, compare the SSR, whichever gives least amount of SSR, that particular xi will be considered. This way we go ahead, okay, till the change in SSR in every step, okay, should be greater than some threshold value. Okay, like you can fix that adding every new feature, okay, should decrease the SSR at least by 0.01 or reduce the SSR by 0.01 or something. Okay. So this way you select a set of features. Coming to the backward stepwise selection, that is in fact called elimination. This is reverse of the last approach. In the last approach, what we did, we are adding one by one based upon its SSR value. Here, in beginning, we shall consider that we have the model with all the features. All the features. And in every iteration, we shall remove one of that. So in the next iteration, what we shall do, okay, we shall create n number of model. In every model, one of the feature will be absent. Okay. Create n number of model, or you can say, let us say here p xp. We shall create p number of model. In every model, one of one of the feature will be absent. Then compute the SSR. So whichever the model out of P having least amount of SSR, that particular model you fix. Again in the next iteration, you construct the P minus 1. So iteration 1, construct P number of model by keeping one of the variable absent. So whichever gives least SSR, so that particular variable will be absent forever. In next iteration, you construct P minus 1 number of model with all P minus 1 number of available features. Again you compute SSR for each model, whichever giving the or whichever giving the maximum SSR, that particular the model having that particular feature will be discarded. Okay, because here we are removing one by one. So whichever will have the maximum amount of SSR, that particular model, okay, or in other way you can think that whichever model having least amount of SSR, that model you keep. Okay. So in next iteration again p minus 2 number of model, because every time one variable is discarded forever. So this way you have to go till okay, okay, you have to put some threshold of SSR that if further decrement in every iteration, there the SSR must be decremented by some value of threshold. If there is no more decrement of threshold SSR or some other performance measure, then you can stop. At that moment, whatever variables are available in the model, those variables will be your final selected features or selected variables. So this way we discussed mainly the RAPL method, forward feature selection and backward feature elimination method. One more thing here to note, in the last class we had discussed a topic, principal component analysis. So in principal component analysis, uh, what we did, we created principal components and we selected a set of principal components. So if your data set is having n number of features, but in principal components we selected only k number of features, where k is less than n. So okay, lastly we had lesser number of features, but only difference is here the principal components are not the features as it is called latent features, hidden, latent or latent features or latent variables. So instead of telling this it is feature selection, it is in fact the feature extraction method. Okay, thank you.